And we cut across to breaking news. Coming in, UK High Court will hear the extradition appeal of billionaire fugitive diamond heir Nirav Modi today. Nirav Modi, who is lodged at Wandsworth Prison in London since his arrest in the British capital in March 2019, was granted permission to appeal against his extradition from the UK to India to face fraud charges in August this year. India going all out in this key hearing in London to have Nirav Modi extradited as the fugitive diamond heir is fighting his extradition. Shavan joining us live on the broadcast to give us more details of what's expected. Over to you, Shavan. Shavan will be back with us in just a short while from now, and Republic in the meanwhile has accessed details of India's strategy on how the agencies plan on getting back Nirav Modi to face the law. This as Nirav Modi has been trying his level best along with his lawyers and Nirav Modi, who is currently lodged at Wandsworth Prison in London since his arrest in British capital in March 2019, was granted permission to appeal against his extradition from the UK to India to face fraud charges in August this year. It's a big push by India. Two senior officers who have been sent to London to assist Crown Prosecution Service, and that includes Joint Director Anurag from the CBI and Additional Director Satyabrata Kumar from ED, who are camping in London. Shavan has all the details of what India's strategy is going to be like. Over to you, Shavan.
Well, in fact, Suesha, we can break this news that two senior officers from India are currently camping in London. One is Joint Director Anurag, who's from the Central Bureau of Investigation, and the Additional Director of the Enforcement Directorate, Satyabrata Kumar. They are also right now camping in London. What we are given to understand is that they're essentially looking at targeting the two key points that have been raised by Nirav Modi's legal team. That is, one, with regards to prison condition in India. Secondly, the fact that there is a high risk of suicide and depression. These are three key concerns that have already been raised by Nirav Modi's legal team. That was on 9th of August when the hearing took place. Just to put this into perspective, this hearing is actually taking place in the United Kingdom High Court. An appeal that has basically been filed by Nirav Modi against the extradition order that has essentially been passed by the UK's Westminster's Magistrate Court. We are now given to understand that today the hearing that's going to take place in London in a short while from now, it's a one-day hearing in which the Crown Prosecution Service, that is essentially representing the Indian government, will be arguing on behalf of the Indian government appealing against the very plea that has been filed by Nirav Modi. Now, what are the grounds that they are essentially talking about? As far as the prison conditions are concerned, remember, there's a detailed report that has been prepared by India and was already presented before the Westminster's Magistrate Court, in which they are essentially saying that in barrack number 12 of the Arthur Road Jail in Mumbai, all conditions are taken care of, right from the facilities in terms of adequate lighting inside the barrack to security outside the barrack itself. It's completely covered by CCTV footage, etc. All that facilities are essentially taken care of. Basically, the concerns that what we are given to understand that UK has, and the standards that have essentially been maintained by the UK High Court, that has essentially been fulfilled. So what we are being told is that all this has been taken care of, and this is exactly what the Indian government would essentially be highlighting. Apart from that, as far as this case goes, remember what they have successfully been able to do so, at least before the Westminster's
Magistrate Court, is the very fact, number one, that he himself is a flight risk if at all bail would have been granted to him. Secondly, bail has not been granted to him on 7 occasions. Now, that's a big success as far as the Indian agencies go, because remember, what they've been able to do so, at least convince the court that there is a legitimate case against Nirav Modi here in India. The very fact that he has cheated several number of people in India, there is a bank scam that has actually taken place, and more importantly, he needs to be brought back to India so that justice could prevail. Now, that is exactly what has really worked in favor of India as far as the UK Magistrate Court is concerned. It remains to be seen how exactly will India try and convince the UK High Court, because this is going to be a crucial one-day hearing that's going to take place, based on which, if at all it is granted, then it is going to go in favor of Nirav Modi. But then the option available before the Indian government is to also move the Supreme Court, the apex court in the United Kingdom, if at all this does not go in favor of the Indian agencies.
Shravan, can you also give us a sense of what time the hearing is set to begin as per India time? And also, like you're saying, senior officers from the agencies there camping in London. What's it going to be like?
Well, at this point in time, Suesha, we're not very sure exactly at what time is it expected to begin, because we were given to understand that roughly around 10:30 or 11 o'clock in the morning United UK time is when this hearing is essentially going to take place. And once that happens, it's going to be a one-day hearing in which we are being told that the Crown Prosecution Service, that is essentially representing India, would be arguing. As far as Nirav Modi's legal team is concerned, their hearing has already taken place on 9th of August, based on which the court had basically decided that a one-day hearing is going to take place. Now, as far as today's hearing goes, it is essentially going to revolve around already the evidences that have already been produced by the Indian government before the Westminster's Magistrate Court, highlighting as far as the prison conditions are concerned, because three very key issues, as I had pointed out earlier, so three key issues, because what the legal counsel of Nirav Modi have essentially been doing in the court is right now saying that there is a high risk of suicide if he is extradited to India. Secondly, their client, that's Nirav Modi, suffers from depression, and perhaps the conditions in India are not really conducive, and that is the reason why extradition should not be granted. Now, as far as India is concerned, India has been able to convince at least the UK's Magistrate Court as far as the prison conditions are concerned, as per international standards, perhaps all facilities that a prisoner actually should be getting, that would be provided to Nirav Modi if he is extradited and brought to Arthur Road Jail, where he would be lodged in barrack number 12. Now, there are specific details. In fact, what we are being told, Suesha, if I can also read out some of the details that we have been able to pick up from our sources within both the agencies as far as the prison conditions are concerned, and how exactly are they going to convince the court. Now,